So you guys know that now Hamas is saying they won't release the prisoners, that they don't agree to phase two because they want to have their own country. No, 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 no. So that like makes you wonder if the ceasefire is going to hold. So that's kind of interesting. A peace settlement between Russia and Ukraine. Good luck with that. That guy is so exhausted. I think the thing that happened with Trump is that he had to be approved for flying. You know, if somebody has health challenges like the challenges that he's shown, you're 80 years old and you've got cankles and venous insufficiency, and you're going to have to be approved for flying, maybe. And so maybe they wanted to see him before he took a major flight out of the country. That's my first hit on that about why Trump had to go in and see the doctor before flying to Egypt. I believe he's going to Egypt, which makes sense because if they're negotiating zone one of Oasis and what we think is going on, then they would have to, then it would be a good idea for them to meet in Sinai, right? If you're asking somebody to give up part of his land as a place for Gazans to live during the rebuild, then it's probably a good idea that they do that. So, so I think the reason why Trump went to the doctors, to Walter Reed, is because he's flying. And if it was your grandpa or my grandpa, we would want them to be approved. And so Trump has to get over to, what's that going to look like? Whoa, that's huge. Trump has to get over there to deal with this. So this is what the end goal is, right? Is this the end goal? Yes, maybe, sort of. The end goal is to get to a rebuild of Gaza that's based on Bedouin principles that can unite the Bedouins that are Jewish, Bedouins that are Muslim, Bedouins that are Christians, through this concept known as the Abraham Accords. So what does Trump have to do? He has to get to Gaza, he has to get to Egypt. And why does he have to get to Egypt? Because Zone 1, initially a humanitarian zone in Rafah or North Sinai with emergency medical clinics evolving into a cultural hub. So that is, right now everyone's been pushed into Rafah. It's not enough space, so we need him to open the gate for Zone 1. You can see multiple zones. What Trump calls zones is now calling zones of peace. I don't care, but it's really, they're oasis zones. Here's the numbers. I'm glad this is nice and big. You guys can read. I love that you guys come on here and see the future and nobody knows how you know it. And you just say, a little bird told me. Oh, he's going to Gaza. Oh, he went to the hospital because he needed to be approved for his flight to Egypt. Oh, he's going to meet with El-Sisi. They're negotiating a trade deal. Right? You've seen the future. AI driven vetted. You've seen the 20 points. You saw the 20 points 2 years ago, didn't you? Because you're smart like that. You are smart people. You are very, 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 very smart people to have found yourself in this situation. They say there's nothing as such as so far, there's not such a thing as a coincidence. but for whatever reason, you're one of the 0.1% that's looking at the original documents. So that's cool, right? That makes you special. I always want my the people that watch the channel to feel that they're special. This is the subway line they're putting in. Whimsy, you made a deal with the devil. It's going to take a lot of money. Kindness, trade, safety, tolerance, and respect for nature aligned with Bedouin values, branded with making Bedouins cool again. Zone 1 is being negotiated right now between Donald Trump and President El-Sisi, humanitarian and cultural hub in Rafah and North Sinai, or we're also thinking about putting a pilot up in the Negev. The purpose will be initially a humanitarian zone providing basic needs, food, shelter, medical care for vetted Gazans post-Hamas, evolving into a cultural hub, preserving Bedouin and Palestinian heritage values, etc., educating students, and peace leadership. Initial phase, third quarter 2025 in Rafah. In temporary prefab shelters. This is what they're bringing in. Clinics. Independent verification report is here on the numbers. Those were supplied to all parties involved. So what is Whimsy trying to do? Abraham's values, kindness and hospitality, provide urgent medical care reflecting Abraham's care. Evolved tolerance via interfaith education reduces Hamas's support to 10 to 15%. Environmental respect with solar infrastructure and safe trade via Max embody Abraham's tent. Zone 1 brief assessment. So what does El-Sisi get out of this? If they're going to give up 450 square kilometers of land in North Sinai to house people while they literally drop a bomb on Gaza, which they have to do because there's 60 meters of tunnel with chemical weapons in them, and the chemical weapons have already gassed and killed people. They've literally got their goal was eventually to get an atomic weapon, but so everybody has to be taken far away, because they're probably going to do some bunker busters and just destroy everything. So what El-Sisi, the president of Egypt, is going to get from all of this is he's going to get an oil deal, because they're drilling off the coast of Gaza and he needs help and he wants access to some of those oil rights, working with the United States. So that money goes to Egypt and it goes to the United States and it goes to Gaza. It's, everybody's going to get a piece of it. The Gazans have to pay a third party to come in just to use the equipment to do the drilling off the coast. So regardless of who's in charge, even if it was a democracy, even though they're not capable of that right now with Hamas in power, they would be negotiating this deal, because this is the only way they're going to get any oil out of that area is if they bring in somebody that has the equipment, whether it's the British Petroleum, which has also looked at drilling in that area, or the United States that wants permission to drill. In exchange, they'll pay a percentage to Gaza. Part of it's in Gaza, part of it's in Egypt, part of it's in Israel, right? So everybody wants to work together to get this oil deal. So the other thing is that El-Sisi is about to have his ass kissed, right? Trump is going to be in Egypt talking about how El-Sisi is a saint. President of Egypt, you're the most incredible man in the world. We love you so much. You're a saint. What you are doing for the Gazan people. Yes, I am so wonderful. Meanwhile, he's agreeing to open the gate because Hamas has been separated from the people. The weapons have been taken away. And the area, and they're supplying their own. Well, Egypt may supply some of the security. So this is money in the bank for Egypt, right? But Egypt was never going to open that border until they had securities that Hamas was gone. So that's the real story of why Trump is going to Egypt. And now you know it because you're special.